President Jonathan Hayes walked into the biggest room he had ever seen. The walls were made of some kind of blue crystal that seemed to glow from inside. Above him, the ceiling looked like space itself, with stars moving slowly across it. This was the Galactic Peace Summit, and he was about to make history. Jonathan was 52 years old and had been Earth's president for 6 years. He was not very tall, but people always listened when he spoke. His hair was gray now, and he had lines around his eyes from smiling too much. Today he wore his best black suit with a small Earth flag pin on his chest. "Are you ready, sir?" asked Admiral Lisa Carter. She was walking beside him, her uniform crisp and clean. Lisa had been protecting Earth for 20 years, and she never missed anything dangerous. "As ready as anyone can be," Jonathan said. He looked around at all the strange beings in the room. There were aliens everywhere. Some looked like giant bugs. Others had blue skin and too many arms. The Zephyrians looked almost human, but their eyes were completely black, and they never seemed to blink. Dr. Marcus Webb hurried up to them. He was carrying a small computer and looked worried. "Sir, I've been watching the alien communications. Something feels wrong. The Zephyrians are sending too many messages to their ships." Jonathan stopped walking. "What kind of messages?" "I don't know. They're using codes we can't break, but they're sending a lot of them, and it started about an hour ago." Admiral Carter put her hand on her weapon. "Maybe we should leave, sir. We can do this meeting another time." Jonathan shook his head. "No, Earth needs this peace treaty. Our people need to know they're safe. If we run away now, we'll never get another chance." They walked to the center of the room. There was a raised platform there, like a stage. 12 different alien species sat in a circle around it. Each group had their own section with chairs or pods or whatever they used to sit. The humans had simple chairs that looked tiny compared to some of the alien furniture. Ambassador Kate Morgan was already sitting in the human section. She stood up when she saw Jonathan. Kate was good at talking to aliens and had spent 2 years setting up this meeting. She smiled, but Jonathan could see she was nervous too. "The Zephyrians have been asking strange questions," Kate whispered to him. "They wanted to know exactly where you would stand during your speech. They also asked about our security and how many guards we brought." General Paulstone was standing near the back of the room. He was in charge of all Earth's military forces, and he looked like he wanted to fight something. Paul had gray hair cut very short and scars on his hands from old battles. He caught Jonathan's eye and tapped his ear. That meant he was listening to his radio. The room got quiet. An alien with purple skin and 4 arms stood up. This was the meeting leader. "We call this meeting to order," the alien said in English. "Today, we make peace between all species. President Hayes of Earth will speak first." Jonathan walked up to the platform. He could feel everyone watching him. Humans all over Earth were watching this on television. His wife was watching from their home in Washington. His children were watching from their schools. This was the most important speech in human history. "Friends," he began, "we come here today not as strangers but as neighbors in this galaxy. Earth is young compared to your worlds. We have much to learn from you, but we also have much to offer." He looked at each group of aliens as he spoke. Some nodded. Others made sounds that might have been agreement. The Zephyrians just stared at him with their black eyes. "For too long, our species have been afraid of each other. We have built walls instead of bridges. We have made weapons instead of friendships, but today we can change that. Today we can choose peace." Jonathan felt good about his words. This was going well. Maybe Dr. Webb was wrong about the Zephyrians. Maybe everything would be fine. "Earth offers you our friendship," he continued. "We offer you our knowledge, our art, our music, our stories. We offer you our hands in partnership. We offer you our promise that we will never raise weapons against those who come in peace." That was when everything went wrong. 3 Zephyrians in the front row stood up at the same time. They moved like robots, all exactly the same. Jonathan saw them reach into their robes and pull out weapons. The weapons were silver and hummed with energy. "Look out!" Admiral Carter shouted. She was running toward the platform, her gun already in her hand. The first Zephyrian pointed his weapon at Jonathan. "You die now, human leader," he said in a voice like ice. "Your species dies with you?" Jonathan tried to move, but he was too slow. The energy beam hit him in the chest and knocked him backward. Pain shot through his body like fire. He could smell his own skin burning. The other two Zephyrians fired at the same time. More energy beams hit Jonathan. He fell to the ground, but he could still see everything happening around him. The room exploded into chaos. Aliens were screaming and running. Some were trying to hide under their chairs. Others were pulling out their own weapons. Admiral Carter was shooting at the Zephyrians, but more of them were appearing from somewhere. Dr. Webb to Jonathan and dropped down beside him. Sir, can you hear me?" Jonathan tried to talk, but blood came out of his mouth instead of words. He could feel his life leaving him. His body was getting cold. "Get the medical team," Dr. Webb shouted. "Now!" But Jonathan knew it was too late. He had been shot 3 times with energy weapons. No human had ever survived that. General Stone was fighting the Zephyrians near the exit. His gun was making loud banging sounds. "They're trying to get to their ships," he yelled. "Don't let them escape." But it was too late for that too. Jonathan could see Zephyrian soldiers flooding into the room. They had planned this. They had brought an army. Ambassador Morgan was on her knees beside Jonathan now. Tears were running down her face. "Why?" she asked the Zephyrians. "Why did you do this? He was offering you peace." The Zephyrian who had shot Jonathan first was still standing over him. "Peace is weakness," he said. "Humans are weak. We kill the weak." Jonathan felt Dr. Webb's hands on his chest, trying to stop the bleeding, but there was too much blood. It was everywhere. "Sir, stay with us," Dr. Webb said. "The medical team is coming." Jonathan used all his strength to grab Dr. Webb's shirt. He pulled him close and whispered, "Tell them. Humanity remembers everything." Those were his last words. President Jonathan Hayes, the first leader of United Earth, died on the floor of the Galactic Peace Summit. He died trying to make peace with aliens who had come to kill him. The shooting stopped. The Zephyrians were leaving. They walked out of the room like nothing had happened. Their ships were already starting their engines. Admiral Carter knelt beside Jonathan's body. Her face was red with anger. "They planned this," she said. "They came here to murder him." Dr. Webb closed Jonathan's eyes. He trusted them. He believed in peace. "And they killed him for it," General Stone said. He was reloading his gun. "They're going to pay for this." All around the room, aliens were staring at Jonathan's body. Some looked shocked, others looked scared, a few looked angry. But the Zephyrians were gone. They had jumped to hyperspace and disappeared. The news was already spreading across Earth. Every human on the planet would know about this within the hour. Every human in the colonies would know by tomorrow. 12 billion people would learn that their leader had been murdered while trying to make peace. Admiral Carter stood up. Her uniform was covered in Jonathan's blood. "Get me a communication." "Link to Earth Command," she said. "Now, what are you going to tell them?" Kate asked. Lisa Carter looked at the blood on her hands. "I'm going to tell them that someone just made the biggest mistake in galactic history. They killed a human leader. They're about to learn what that means." The Peace Summit was over. The age of human fury was about to begin. The news hit Earth like a bomb. Admiral Lisa Carter stood in the command center of Earth Defense Headquarters. Around her, screens showed every human colony, every space station, every ship in the fleet. All of them were calling at once. All of them wanted to know the same thing. "Is it true?" asked Captain Ryan Brooks from his ship, the UES Retribution. "Did they really kill the president?" Lisa looked at the screen showing Ryan's face. He was 35 years old and had been fighting space pirates for 10 years. She had never seen him look so angry. "Yes," she said. "President Hayes is dead. The Zephyrians assassinated him during the peace talks." The command center went completely quiet. 50 officers stopped what they were doing and stared at her. Then the shouting started. "Those alien bastards! We should nuke their homeworld. I knew we couldn't trust them. Lisa raised her hand and everyone went quiet again. She was in charge now. With the president dead, Earth's military laws made her the leader until elections could be held. But there would be no elections while Earth was at war. Listen to me, she said. All of you, what happened today changes everything. We are no longer trying to make peace with the galaxy. We are going to war. Double quotes. Dr. Marcus Webb ran into the command center. His face was white and he was breathing hard. Admiral, you need to see this. We analyzed the weapons that killed the president. They weren't normal Zephyrian guns. What do you mean? I mean someone else gave them those weapons. Someone who wanted to make sure President Hayes died. This wasn't just the Zephyrians, this was a conspiracy. Lisa felt her anger getting hotter. How many species were involved? I don't know yet. But the energy signature on those weapons matches technology from at least 3 different alien civilizations, maybe more. General Paulstone walked into the room. His uniform was still dirty from the fight at the Peace Summit. Admiral, I need to talk to you, in private. They went into a small room next to the command center. Paul closed the door and locked it. We need to activate Protocol Omega, he said. Lisa stared at him. Protocol Omega was Earth's most secret military plan. Only 5 people in the galaxy knew about it. President Hayes had created it 3 years ago, just in case something like this happened. Are you sure? She asked. They killed our president while he was trying to make peace. If that's not enough to activate Omega, nothing is, Lisa nodded. Protocol Omega was designed for one thing: total war against any species that threatened humanity's existence. It would turn Earth from a peaceful planet into a war machine. Do it, she said. Paul pulled out a small device and pressed his thumb against it. Then he typed in a long code. Across Earth and all the human colonies, secret military bases began to wake up. Weapons that had been hidden for years started powering up. Ships that looked like cargo haulers began showing their real purpose. For the past 10 years, while Earth was trying to make peace with the galaxy, they had also been preparing for war. Just in case, Ambassador Kate Morgan was still at the Peace Summit station, but now she was working. She was calling every alien species she knew, trying to figure out who was involved in the assassination. The Andromedans are shocked, she reported to Lisa over the radio. They say they had no idea this was going to happen. The Centaurians are the same. But some species aren't answering our calls. Which ones? The Hegemony Council, the Void Stalkers, the Crystal Empire, and about 6 others. Either they're too scared to talk to us or they're part of this conspiracy. Lisa looked at the star map on her wall. It showed every known alien civilization in the galaxy. If even half of them were involved in killing President Hayes, this was going to be the biggest war in galactic history. Admiral, said Lieutenant Commander Nicole Adams from the communications station, we're getting reports from all over human space. Every colony wants to send ships to help. Every space station is volunteering their crews. I've never seen anything like it. Lisa wasn't surprised. Humans had a way of coming together when one of their own was murdered. It didn't matter if you lived on Earth or on a mining colony 1,000 light years away. An attack on one human was an attack on all humans. Captain Ryan Brooks appeared on the main screen again. Behind him, Lisa could see his crew getting ready for battle. His tactical officer, Lieutenant Commander Nicole Adams, was running weapons checks. His engineer, Chief Tony Mitchell, was pushing the engines to maximum power. Admiral, we've got the Zephyrian ships on our sensors, Ryan said. They're trying to escape to hyperspace. Should we pursue? Yes, hunt them down, all of them. What about prisoners? Lisa thought about President Hayes lying dead on the floor of the Peace Summit. She thought about his last words. Humanity remembers everything. No prisoners, said Ryan smiled. It was not a nice smile. Understood, Admiral. Retribution out. Dr. Webb came back into the command center carrying a large computer tablet. Admiral, I've got more information about the conspiracy. It's worse than we thought. How much worse? The assassination was just the beginning. We found communications between the Zephyrians and something called the hegemony. They were planning to wipe out all humans in the galaxy. Every colony, every ship, every person. Lisa felt like someone had punched her in the stomach. Genocide? Complete genocide? They wanted to eliminate humanity as a threat to their power. President Hayes was killed because he was making Earth too influential. Too many other species were starting to like us. General Stone heard this and started laughing, but it wasn't a happy laugh. It was the laugh of someone who had just realized that his enemies had made a terrible mistake. They wanted to eliminate us, he said. They have no idea what they just did. They think they killed our leader and scared us. Instead, they just gave us a reason to show them what humans are really capable of. Lisa walked over to the communications station. Get me a link to every human settlement in the galaxy. Every colony, every ship, every space station. I want to talk to all of them at once. It took 5 minutes to set up the link. When it was ready, Lisa could see hundreds of screens showing human faces from all over the galaxy. Miners from the asteroid belts. Farmers from the agricultural worlds, soldiers from the frontier bases, scientists from the research stations. All of them were waiting to hear what she had to say. My fellow humans, she began. Today our president was murdered. Jonathan Hayes died while trying to make peace with alien species who came to the summit planning to kill him. They shot him down in cold blood while he was offering them friendship. She could see the anger growing on all those faces. Some people were crying, others looked ready to fight. But President Hayes' death was not random. It was part of a larger plan to eliminate all humans from the galaxy. They want to commit genocide against our entire species. They want to kill every man, woman, and child who calls themselves human. Now the anger was turning into something else, something dangerous. They made one mistake, Lisa continued. They thought killing our leader would make us weak. They thought we would surrender or run away. They were wrong. She looked directly into the camera. Today, we show them what happens when you murder a human. Today, we show them that humanity doesn't just remember everything. We make sure everyone else remembers too. We are going to hunt down every alien who was involved in this conspiracy. We are going to destroy every ship, every base, every world that supported them. And when we're done, the galaxy will know that humans are not victims. We are predators. The cheering started on the frontier worlds and spread across the galaxy. Billions of humans were shouting their approval. They wanted revenge, and they were going to get it, Admiral Carter, said Dr. Webb quietly. Are you sure about this? Total war against multiple alien species? We've never fought anything this big before. Lisa turned to look at him. Doctor, have you ever seen what humans do when someone threatens their family? No, I don't think so. Then you're about to learn. These aliens have been watching us during peacetime. They've seen us explore and trade and try to make friends, but they've never seen us fight a real war. They have no idea what we're capable of when we stop trying to be nice. General Stone was already giving orders to his officers. Secret military. Bases all over Earth were coming online. Weapons factories that had been disguised as civilian buildings were starting production. Transport ships were being converted into warships. How long until we're ready? Lisa asked him. The first strike. Force can launch in 6 hours. Full mobilization will take 3 days after that. He smiled. After that, the aliens are going to learn why you should never kill a human leader. Captain Ryan Brooks called in from his ship. Admiral, we've caught up with the first group of Zephyrian ships. They're asking to surrender. What did you tell them? I told them that President Hayes tried to surrender to them. I told them how that worked out for him. Then I opened fire. Lisa nodded. Good, no mercy for murderers. The war had begun. Across the galaxy, human ships were changing course and heading for enemy territory. The aliens had started this fight by killing one man. They were about to learn that they had actually declared war on the most dangerous species in the galaxy, and humanity was going to make sure they regretted it. Captain Ryan Brooks watched the Zephyrian ship explode on his screen. It was the third one they had destroyed in the past hour. The aliens were running, but they couldn't run fast enough. "Target destroyed," reported Lieutenant Commander Nicole. Adams from the tactical station. "That's all of them in this sector." "Good," Ryan said. "Any distress calls?" "They tried to call for help, but we jammed their communications." No one heard them die. Ryan looked at the empty space where the enemy ships had been. 3 days ago, he would have felt bad about killing aliens. Today, he felt nothing except satisfaction. They had murdered President Hayes. They deserved to die. "Sir," said Chief Engineer Tony Mitchell over the intercom, "we're getting a priority message from Admiral Carter." Ryan turned on the main screen. Admiral Carter appeared, and she looked different than she had a week ago. Her eyes were harder. Her voice was colder. The death of President Hayes had changed her, just like it had changed all of them. "Captain Brooks, report your status." "We've eliminated all Zephyrian ships in sectors 7 through 12. No survivors. We're tracking another group heading toward the Kepler system." "Excellent. How are your crew holding up?" Ryan looked around his bridge. Nicole was cleaning her weapons. Tony was pushing the engines harder than they were designed. To go, Dr. Susan Clark, their xenobiologist, was studying captured Zephyrian technology with a look of pure hatred on her face. "We're all ready to kill more aliens, Admiral." Lisa smiled, and it was not a nice smile. "Good, because we just found out who else was involved in the conspiracy." The screen changed to show a star map. Red dots marked enemy territories. There were a lot of red dots. "The Hegemony Council was the main organizer," Lisa continued. "They convinced the Zephyrians to kill President Hayes, but they also got help from the Void Stalkers, the Crystal Empire, the Metal Lords, and the Shadow Federation. 5 different alien species working together to commit genocide against humanity." Ryan felt his anger getting hotter. "How do we respond?" "Total war. We're not just hunting the assassins anymore. We're going to destroy every species that was involved in this conspiracy. Every ship, every base, every world. When we're done, those species will no longer exist." "What about the other aliens, the ones who weren't involved?" "If they stay out of our way, we'll leave them alone. If they try to help our enemies, we'll kill them too. It's their choice." The screen switched back to Admiral Carter's face. Behind her, Ryan could see the Earth Defense Command Center. It was full of activity. Officers were running everywhere. Screens showed human fleets moving across the galaxy. "Captain, I'm sending you new orders. You're to proceed to the Kepler system and destroy the Zephyrian military base there. Intelligence reports indicate it's where they planned the assassination." "Understood." "Admiral, what about civilians?" Lisa was quiet for a moment. "There are no civilians in this war, Captain. Anyone who supported the conspiracy is an enemy. Anyone who was planning to help with genocide is an enemy. Show them the same mercy they plan to show our children." Ryan understood. No mercy at all. The connection ended, and Ryan turned to his crew. "You heard the Admiral. Set course for Kepler. Maximum speed." "Sir," said Dr. Clark from her science station, "I've been analyzing the Zephyrian technology we captured. There's something you need to know." "What is it?" "These weapons were specifically designed to kill humans. The energy frequency is tuned to disrupt human cellular structure. They weren't just trying to kill President Hayes, they were preparing to kill all of us." Ryan felt his hands clench into fists. The aliens hadn't just planned one murder. They had planned to wipe out the entire human race. How long would it have taken them to build enough weapons to kill 12 billion people? He asked. "According to these specifications, about 2 years. They were going to start with our leaders and work their way down to every human in the galaxy." Nicole looked up from her weapons console. "So, if we hadn't found out about this conspiracy in 2 years, there would be no humans left alive anywhere?" "That's correct." Ryan stood up from his captain's chair. "Then we're not just fighting for revenge. We're fighting for survival. They tried to make us extinct. Now we're going to make them extinct instead." The ship jumped to hyperspace, heading for the Kepler system. Around them, other human ships were doing the same thing. The entire human fleet was moving at once, like a pack of wolves hunting prey. On Earth, General Paul Stone was watching the war from the main command center. The screens around him showed battles happening all over the galaxy. Human ships were winning every fight. "General," said Major Amy Rodriguez, "we've completed the assault on the Void Stalker supply base in Sector 15. No enemy survivors? What about their weapons? Destroyed. Along with their ammunition, their spare parts, and their food supplies? That base will never threaten humans again," Paul nodded. "This was how you fought a war of extinction. You didn't just defeat the enemy, you destroyed everything they needed to survive." "Sir," said Commander Jake Peterson, "my stealth team has infiltrated the Crystal Empire Communications Network. We've been listening to their military chatter." "What are they saying?" "They're scared. They never expected us to respond this fast or this hard. They thought killing President Hayes would make us give up. Instead, we're destroying everything they throw at us." Paul wasn't surprised. The aliens had been watching humans during peacetime. They had seen Earth's diplomats and scientists and artists. They had never seen Earth soldiers. "What else are they saying?" "Some of them want to surrender. Others want to call in more allies. But mostly, they're just trying to figure out how to survive." Paul smiled. "Too late for that. They should have thought about survival before they murdered our president." Dr. Marcus Webb entered the command center carrying a tablet full of data. "General, we've analyzed all the alien communications we've intercepted. The conspiracy was even bigger than we thought." "How big?" "At least 12 different species knew about the plan to kill President Hayes. 5 of them actively helped. 7 more agreed to stay out of the way and let it happen." Paul felt his anger reaching a new level. "So 12 alien species decided that humans needed to die?" "Yes, sir. They called it the human problem. They thought we were expanding too fast and making too many friends with other species. They wanted to eliminate us before we became too powerful." "Well," Paul said, "they were right about one thing. We are powerful. More powerful than they ever imagined." He turned to address the entire command center. "Listen up, everyone. We just learned that 12 alien species conspired to commit genocide against humanity. That means we're no longer just fighting the ones who pulled the trigger. We're fighting everyone who let it happen." The officers in the room looked at each other. 12 species was a lot of enemies. "Sir," said Major Rodriguez, "are we sure we can win a war against 12 different alien civilizations?" Paul laughed. "Major, these aliens made one crucial mistake. They studied us during peacetime. They learned about our culture, our art, our philosophy, but they never learned about our military doctrine." "What do you mean?" "I mean they don't know about Project Prometheus." Project Prometheus was Earth's most secret weapons program. For 10 years, while Earth was trying to make peace with the galaxy, Dr. Webb had been developing weapons that could destroy entire civilizations, just in case diplomacy failed. "It's time to show them what we've been building," Paul said. "Webb, activate Prometheus." Dr. Webb typed commands into his tablet. Across the galaxy, hidden human bases began to power up weapons that the aliens had never seen before. Kinetic bombardment platforms that could turn planets into asteroids. Quantum disruptors that could tear apart enemy ships at the molecular level. Nanite swarms that could eat through alien hull metal like acid. "General," said Dr. Webb, "Prometheus is online. All weapons are ready for deployment." "Excellent." "Target the homeworlds of all 12 conspiracy species. If they wanted to make humans extinct, let's show them what extinction really looks like." Back in space, Captain Ryan Brooks and his crew had reached the Kepler system. The Zephyrian military base was huge, bigger than most Earth cities. It had gun platforms, shield generators, and docking bays for hundreds of ships. "Impressive," said Nicole from the tactical station. "Too bad we're going to destroy it." "Sir," said Dr. Clark, "I'm detecting some kind of energy signature from the base. It's the same frequency as the weapons that killed President Hayes." Ryan's eyes went cold. "They're manufacturing those weapons here. This is where they built the guns that murdered our president." "What are your orders, Captain?" Ryan looked at the base on his screen. Inside that base were the aliens who had planned President Hayes' death. They were probably making more weapons to kill more humans. They were planning to commit genocide. Arm all weapons, he said. We're going to erase that base from existence. Sir, there might be thousands of aliens on that base. Good, then we'll be killing thousands of genocidal murderers. The UES Retribution opened fire with everything it had. Energy beams and missiles slammed into the alien base. The shields lasted about 30 seconds before collapsing. Then the real destruction began. Ryan watched the base break apart piece by piece. Each explosion meant fewer weapons that could be used to kill humans. Each destroyed section meant fewer aliens who could plan genocide. The war had been going on for 3 weeks, and the galaxy was learning to fear humans. Admiral Lisa Carter stood on the bridge of the UES Vengeance, Earth's largest warship. Through the windows, she could see the burning remains of Zephyrian Prime, the alien homeworld. What had once been a planet with 6 billion inhabitants was now nothing but floating rocks and fire. Admiral, said Colonel Steve Turner over the radio, ground forces have secured the last enemy stronghold. We found their main computer systems. What did you find? Everything. Complete records of the conspiracy, names, dates, communication logs. We know exactly who was involved and what they were planning. Lisa felt a cold satisfaction. Send me the data. The information appeared on her screen, and what she saw made her anger burn even hotter. The conspiracy had been in planning for 5 years. 12 different alien species had been working together to eliminate humanity from the galaxy. They had detailed plans for killing every human man, woman, and child. Admiral, said Captain Helen Foster from her ship, we've received surrender offers from 6 different alien species. They're begging us to stop the attacks. Which species? The Metal Lords, the Crystal Empire, the Shadow Federation, the Void Stalkers, the Deep Ones, and the Starbinders. They're all offering to pay reparations and sign peace treaties. Lisa laughed, but it was not a happy sound. Peace treaties? They want to make peace now? After they plan to murder every human in the galaxy? What should I tell them? Tell them what I told the Zephyrians. We don't want their surrender, we want justice. Complete, total, absolute justice. The communication screen switched to show Dr. Marcus Webb on Earth. Behind him, the war room was full of activity. Scientists and military officers were working together to coordinate the largest military operation in human history. Admiral, Dr. Webb said, I have important news. We found the Hegemony's main base. Lisa's eyes went cold. The Hegemony was the secret organization that had planned President Hayes' assassination. They were the ones who had convinced the other alien species to join the conspiracy. Where is it? In the Void Nebula, about 200 light-years from Earth. It's a massive station hidden inside a gas cloud. Intelligence estimates put their forces at over 1 million soldiers and 500 ships. What about defenses? Shields that can stop our normal weapons, energy barriers that can destroy our ships, automated defense platforms with enough firepower to destroy a small fleet. Lisa smiled. Then it's a good thing we're not bringing a small fleet. How many ships can we mobilize for this attack? Every available vessel in the human fleet. About 2,000 ships total. And Project Prometheus weapons. All of them. We're going to hit that base with everything we have. Lisa turned to address her crew. Listen up, everyone. We just found the aliens who planned President Hayes' murder. They're hiding in the Void Nebula, thinking they're safe. We're going to show them how wrong they are. The crew cheered. For 3 weeks, they had been fighting smaller battles and destroying enemy outposts. Now they were finally going to face the real enemy. Set course for the Void Nebula, Lisa ordered. Maximum speed. And send a message to every human ship in the galaxy. Tell them we're going to finish this war. 2 days later, the largest human fleet in history arrived at the Void Nebula. 2,000 ships, ranging from small fighters to massive dreadnoughts. Every human colony had contributed. Every space station had sent their best crews. This was humanity's entire military force working together for one purpose: revenge. "Admiral," said Captain Ryan Brooks from the UES Retribution, "we're detecting massive energy signatures inside the nebula. The hegemony base is bigger than our intelligence reports indicated." "How much bigger?" "About 10 times bigger. This isn't just a military base, it's a complete civilization. They've got cities, factories, shipyards, everything. There might be 50 million aliens in there." Lisa felt no sympathy for the aliens. 50 million genocidal murderers. Good, we'll kill them all at once. General Paul Stone appeared on the communication screen. "Admiral, we've analyzed the base's defenses. They're strong, but they have weaknesses. If we coordinate our attack properly, we can break through. What's the plan?" "First wave hits their outer defenses with kinetic bombardment platforms. Second wave targets their shield generators with quantum disruptors. Third wave deploys the nanite swarms to eat through. They're hull plating. After that, we send in ground forces to finish the job." Lisa nodded. It was a good plan. Brutal, but good. "What about civilian casualties?" Paul's face was stone cold. "There are no civilians in there, Admiral. Everyone in that base knew about the conspiracy. Everyone supported the plan to murder President Hayes and commit genocide against humanity. They're all enemies." Ambassador Kate Morgan's voice came over the radio. "Admiral, I'm receiving surrender offers from inside the base. They're saying they'll give us the real leaders of the conspiracy if we spare the others." "How generous of them," Lisa said. "Do they really think we'll negotiate with murderers?" "They're offering complete records of all their plans. Names of every alien who was involved. Details of how they were going to kill every human in the galaxy." Lisa thought about this for a moment. The information would be useful. But she remembered President Hayes lying dead on the floor of the Peace Summit. She remembered his last words: "Humanity remembers everything." "Tell them we already have all the information we need," she said. "We know who they are. We know what they planned. And we know what they deserve." The attack began with a flash of light that could be seen from the other side of the galaxy. The kinetic bombardment platforms fired first. Massive tungsten rods, accelerated to near light speed, slammed into the base's outer defenses. The impact was like being hit by a small star. Shields that had never failed before collapsed in seconds. "Direct hits on the outer perimeter," reported Captain Foster. "Their main shields are down." "Second wave attack," Lisa ordered. The quantum disruptors fired next. These weapons tore apart matter at the molecular level, turning solid metal into empty space. The base's secondary defenses simply ceased to exist. "Disruptors are effective," said Dr. Webb from his ship. "We're seeing massive structural damage to their central core. Deploy the nanite swarms." Billions of microscopic robots swarmed over the base like a disease. They ate through hull plating, destroyed computer systems, and consumed everything they touched. The aliens inside the base watched in horror as their home was literally eaten alive. "Nanites have penetrated their inner hull," reported Colonel Turner. "We're detecting massive system failures throughout the base." Lisa watched the destruction on her screens. The hegemony base was breaking apart like a toy. Explosions lit up. The nebula's critical systems failed. Atmosphere vented into space. Power grids collapsed. "Admiral," said Ryan from his ship, "we're detecting escape pods launching from the base. They're trying to run. Destroy them, all of them. No one escapes." Human fighters swept through the nebula, hunting down every escape pod. Energy beams lit up the darkness as the pods exploded. One by one, the aliens who had planned humanity's extinction were learning what extinction felt like. "Pod count at 0, reported Captain Foster. "No survivors." But the main base was still partially intact. Lisa could see lights in some sections, and there were still aliens alive in there. "All ships prepare for final bombardment," she ordered. "We're going to finish this." Every human ship in the fleet aimed their weapons at the dying base. Energy cannons, missile launchers, plasma beams, everything they had. Fire. 2,000 ships opened fire at once. The combined firepower was like a supernova. The base didn't just explode, it disintegrated. Every atom was torn apart and scattered across the nebula. In seconds, the largest alien military installation in the galaxy became nothing but glowing gas. Lisa watched the light fade away. "That's for President Hayes," she said quietly. The communication screens around her lit up with reports from across the galaxy. Human fleets were destroying the last remnants of the conspiracy species. The Metal Lord's homeworld was burning. The Crystal Empire's fleets were scattered and broken. The Shadow Federation had simply ceased to exist. "Admiral," said Dr. Webb, "we're receiving communications from neutral alien species. They want to know if the war is over. Tell them it will be over when every alien who was involved in the conspiracy is dead. Every ship, every base, every world, complete extinction. Some of them are asking about surrender terms." Lisa thought. About this, the war was almost won. The main conspiracy species were destroyed or dying. But there were still individual aliens out there who had supported the plan to murder President Hayes. "There are no surrender terms," she said. "We hunt down every last one of them. We make sure this never happens again. Over the next week, human fleets finished the job. They tracked down fleeing alien ships and destroyed them. They found hidden bases and erased them from existence. They hunted individual conspirators across the galaxy and executed them on sight. The species that had planned humanity's extinction were extinct themselves. Their homeworlds were dead rocks. Their ships were scrap metal. Their people were nothing but memories." "Admiral," said Ambassador Morgan, "the Galactic Council is requesting a meeting. The surviving alien species want to discuss terms for ending the war." Lisa looked at the star map on H. 1 year later, the galaxy was a very different place. Ambassador Kate Morgan stood at the same podium where President Jonathan Hayes had been murdered. The Galactic Peace Station had been rebuilt, but this time it orbited Earth. This time, humans were in control. Around her sat representatives from 43 alien species. They all looked nervous. They all remembered what had happened to the species that had killed President Hayes. Those species no longer existed. "Welcome to the new Galactic Council," Kate said. Her voice was calm, but everyone in the room could hear the steel underneath. "I know many of you are wondering why we called this meeting. The answer is simple. We want to make sure everyone understands the new rules." An alien from the Centaur Confederacy raised one of his forearms. "Ambassador Morgan, what exactly are these new rules?" Kate smiled. "Rule number 1, you don't threaten humanity. Rule number 2, you don't attack human ships, bases, or colonies. Rule number 3, you don't plan genocide against any species, especially humans. And rule number 4, you definitely don't assassinate human leaders. What happens if someone breaks these rules?" asked a representative from the Andromedan Republic. "You can ask the Zephyrians," Kate said. "Oh, wait, you can't. They're all dead." The room went completely quiet. Everyone remembered the footage of human fleets destroying entire worlds. Everyone had seen what happened when humanity got angry. Admiral Lisa Carter was watching the meeting from Earth Defense Headquarters. Around her, screens showed human fleets patrolling the galaxy. Humanity now had the largest military force in known space. Every major shipping lane was protected by human warships. Every important star system had a human base nearby. "Admiral," said General Paul Stone, "how are our new colonies doing?" Lisa looked at the reports on her screen. After the war, humanity had taken over the territories of the extinct conspiracy species. Dozens of worlds that had once belonged to aliens were now human settlements. "Very well," she said. "The former Zephyrian worlds are producing food and raw materials. The old Metal Lord's territory is our new industrial center. The Crystal Empire's planets are perfect for research stations. Any resistance from the local populations?" Lisa laughed. "There are no local populations. We made sure of that." The war had taught humanity an important lesson. Half measures didn't work. When aliens tried to commit genocide against humans, the only proper response was to commit genocide right back. But do it better. "Admiral," said Dr. Marcus Webb, I have the final casualty reports from the war. How many humans did we lose? About 50,000 total. Most of them in the early battles before we activated Project Prometheus. And alien casualties? Approximately 8 billion dead. 5 entire species extinct. 12 homeworlds completely destroyed. Lisa nodded. Those were acceptable numbers. The aliens had learned a valuable lesson about the cost of murdering human leaders. Captain Ryan Brooks entered the command center. He was wearing a new uniform now, with medals from the war. His ship, the UES Retribution, had destroyed more enemy vessels than any other human ship. Admiral, I have a report from our patrol of the former Shadow Federation territory. We found something interesting. What is it? A message beacon floating in space near where their capital used to be. It's addressed to any humans who might find it. Lisa was curious. What does it say? Ryan activated a small device and a holographic alien appeared. It was one of the Shadow Federation leaders who had helped plan President Hayes' assassination. 2. The humans who will eventually find this message, the alien said. We made a mistake. We thought you were weak because you tried to make peace with us. We thought killing your leader would make you surrender. We were wrong. The hologram looked directly at them. We didn't understand what humans really are. You're not a peaceful species that wants to explore and make friends. You're predators pretending to be peaceful. You're the most dangerous thing in the galaxy, and we woke you up. Lisa listened to this with satisfaction. Finally, an alien that understood. If any of our people survived, the alien continued, I want them to know this. Never fight humans. Never threaten humans. Never even annoy humans. Because when they stop pretending to be nice, they will destroy you completely. The message ended. Ryan turned off the device. Interesting, Lisa said. Too bad he figured that out too late to save his species. Back on the peace station, Kate was explaining humanity's new position in the galaxy. For the past year, human fleets have been patrolling all major space routes, she said. We've stopped 67 pirate attacks, prevented 12 wars between alien species, and eliminated 14 different terrorist organizations. The galaxy is now safer than it has been in centuries. But at what cost? Asked the Andromedan representative. 5 entire species are extinct. Kate's expression didn't change. The cost of murdering human leaders is extinction. Everyone knows. This now, that's why the galaxy is peaceful. An alien from the far-reach colony spoke up. Ambassador, are humans planning to conquer the entire galaxy? We don't need to conquer anyone, Kate replied. We just need everyone to understand that humans are the dominant species now. As long as you follow our rules, you can live in peace. Break our rules and you'll join the Zephyrians. The meeting continued for several hours. Kate explained humanities. New trade agreements, security arrangements, and diplomatic protocols. Everything was designed to make sure that humans would never again face the threat of genocide. When the meeting ended, the alien representatives left quickly. They were all eager to get home and make sure their governments understood. The new reality. Kate walked to the observation deck of the station. Through the windows, she could see Earth below. It looked peaceful, but she knew that the planet was now the center of the galaxy's most powerful military force. How did it go? Asked Dr. Susan Clark, who had come up to join her. They understand. Kate said, they're all scared of us now, but they understand. Do you think we did the right thing? Destroying 5 entire species? Kate thought about President Hayes lying dead on the floor. She thought about the aliens' plans to commit genocide against humanity. She thought about what would have happened if humans hadn't fought back. They wanted to make us extinct, she said. Instead, we made them extinct. Yes, I think we did the right thing. On Earth, construction was finishing on the Hayes Memorial. It was built in the exact spot where President Hayes had grown up. In a small town in Ohio, the memorial was simple, a statue of the president giving his last speech, surrounded by walls listing the names of every human who had died in the war, but the most important part of the memorial was the inscription at the base of the statue. It was President Hayes' last words, humanity remembers everything. Below that, someone had added a new line, "And humanity never forgives." Admiral Carter attended the dedication ceremony. Millions of humans were there, both in person and watching on screens across the galaxy. When she spoke, her words were broadcast to every human settlement in space. "President Hayes died trying to make peace," she said. "But his death taught you something important. Peace only works when both sides want it. When someone wants to kill you, the only answer is to kill them first." She looked out at the crowd. Many of these people had lost friends and family in the war, but they had also seen humanity emerge as the galaxy's dominant power. "The aliens thought killing our president would make us weak," she continued. "Instead, it made us strong. It showed us what we're really capable of when we stop trying to be nice. It showed the galaxy that humans are not victims. We are predators," the crowd cheered. They remembered the fear they had felt when President Hayes was murdered. They also remembered the satisfaction they had felt when the enemy species were destroyed. "Today, we dedicate this memorial to President Hayes and to all the humans who died in the war. But we also dedicate it to the future, to making sure that no alien species ever again thinks they can threaten humanity." Lisa looked up at the statue of President Hayes. He was frozen in the moment of giving his peace speech, his hand extended in friendship. But now everyone knew what happened to aliens who rejected that friendship. "The galaxy is at peace now," she concluded. "Not because everyone loves each other, but because everyone fears us, and that's exactly how we want it." Later that night, Lisa stood alone in front of the memorial. The crowds had gone home, but she wanted a few minutes by herself. "We kept our promise," she said to the statue. "We made them remember everything. We made them pay for what they did to you." The statue didn't answer, of course, but Lisa felt like President Hayes would have approved. He had tried to make peace, but when peace failed, humanity had done what was necessary to survive. The war was over. The conspiracy species were extinct. The galaxy was peaceful. And everyone knew that humans were not to be trifled with. They had killed Earth's leader. Humanity had responded with pure fury. And the galaxy would never forget the lesson. You don't murder humans because humans always get their revenge. Always.